This is the Harboring Light. I'm Mary. I give a conservative perspective about the world around me. So, my email, Substack, and locals links will be provided for you in this episode. And ratings is greatly appreciated. So, on the following podcast platforms that I'm about to list, it'd be greatly appreciated to give ratings and feedback on those platforms. So, Audible, Amazon Music, Spotify for podcasters, Overcast, Pocket Cast, iHeartRadio, Google Podcasts, just to name a few. And also, questions, comments, concerns is also highly important to the development and the growth of this podcast. So, I encourage, please give me all of those questions, comments, all of that feedback. You can either reach me in three ways, either through my email, Substack, or through locals. All right, so this episode is about Vallecitos, New Mexico, and the food aspect of it. Here we go. All right, so Vallecitos. Sorry, not Vallecitos. Vallecitos, New Mexico. All right, so I'm going to do this segment differently. So I think that food is an art form, and I think it's a highly it's an intuitive skill for the lesser point of it, but it's a skill that requires a lot of great patience and time and mastery to get to a point of great skill and a point to show the elegance in food. And that's not a task that everybody wants to take on. But I find it one of those things that is a necessary skill to have, especially in this time of age, with the aspect of what's being put into food now as far as how it's processed. And I think it's a good thing to have that skill and that knowledge to want to know where your food is coming from and to want to know the different techniques of taking care and prepping meals. So I find it fascinating, and I find a great appreciation for cities, for states, for countries that value the importance of having a supply chain of restaurant supply stores that gives the tools that is needed to prepare food properly. And then I think it's quite interesting, and I have a lot of appreciation for Vallecitos, New Mexico, for doing that. So, here we go. I'm going to talk about their store, the restaurant supply store in Vallecitos, New Mexico. And, of course, the source will be provided for you on Substack. So, here we go. Looking for the best restaurant supply store near Vallecitos, New Mexico? RestaurantSupply.com is a top-rated Vallecitos restaurant equipment store that provides restaurant supply equipment in Vallecitos, New Mexico. So it's top-rated with a supply store in New Mexico, and you can stop for restaurant supplies via our website or mobile device. and we provide a variety of restaurant supplies at a competitive price. And to add on to this with the aspect of technological aspect being included with having that consumer aspect of choices. And I think it's a nice touch for the consumer or the chef, the restaurant manager, all of them to have those options in order to have the tools that they need of what they're looking for. And I think it's a good strategy to have when you think about the survival of companies, especially in this day and time with how vital technology is to our daily lives. And it's one of those things where you got to decide. Adaptation is a great necessity in order to be relevant and your business, from from my point of view and personal experience. And it's nice when companies understand that. And also, to add on top of that, I think it's quite interesting now that we live in the aspect of food on delivery, where it be Grubhub, where it be the Uber Eats, and grocery supply, the apps where when you're in a rush, you need it. Now that's a necessarily good thing. That is a good thing to have, because it's a lot of things that go on in day-to-day life, especially when you have a family, you're married, and all these things, and a lot of stuff happens that it's useful. But at the same time, it's one of those things. Okay, when it becomes a ever-present thing where you use that as a tool of not of losing sight of the importance of going out and picking your food and selecting what you want, what you don't want, and just being really have a solid sense, grounded sense of where your food is coming from is a nice thing to have. And I think it's a nice skill to have, the importance of cooking and knowing where things come from and understanding the aspects and having appreciation from making food from scratch, so to speak. And that's one of those things now where everything isn't exclusively from scratch. That's gone out of necessity to hunt, gather all of this and then bring it back home. But the aspect of farming and the aspect of growing crops or having a greenhouse or having, things as small as raising chickens, if you have enough properly land to do it and so forth, is really nice, a really nice touch and a really nice thing to have, to understand those aspects of food and have that in-depth understanding of taking care of something and nurturing something and growing something. All right, so here we go. So these are the different categories that is listed for this restaurant that you can shop for the restaurant supply store. So they have refrigeration, food preparation equipment, small ware, storage and transportation, commercial tabletop supplies, disposal tableware, plumbing and faucets, commercial dining ware, restaurant janitorial supplies, and sanitary supplies. So, Vallecitos restaurant industry is booming with new food services related to businesses opening its doors all over the metro area. The food service industry has seen exponential growth, but wages have not kept pace with inflation. In reality, food service workers have endured a dip in salaries of 3.5% since 2014. As restaurant owners need kept prices low while paying workers a living wage. So the fall in payment is to the heightened pressure to keep prices low while paying workers a decent wage. And it's one of those things too where, I get it and I understand, and it's really hard work, being, particularly if you're on the end of being that waitress, waiter, and all these things. But you get to, but on the other side of that, you get to the point where you cap out of your skill, and it's a good thing to, to figure out where's the next level, where's the next step you want to go in your career, and if the restaurant industry is where you want to go, how about stepping up and going to the next level and the next and the next, and then so on and so forth. It's one of those things where you don't want to get into that aspect of, I'm at this low level wage, but I demand more. But is it really a thing where you have, you're used to it, and you have all the skills and training, so to speak, of that level, but it's not enough in reality to sustain your life as you grow and as the reality of situation of being an adult. And so you got to make those decisions, But, and then it's also one of those things with the aspect of the food industry, how, as I was mentioning, how, food being an aspect of on demand, being online and delivering online, it loses the aspect of people going into restaurants and dining. That dining experience is being lost too, and that's really something to also consider and think about when you think about the aspects of how food is thought of in today's society. All right, so RestaurantSupply.com is the best restaurant supply store at Vallecitos with distributions all over the United States and speedy shipping. If you need assistance with anything at all, our customer service experts are available for chat or phone 24 hours a day. RestaurantSupply.com has been a trusted restaurant supply store since 1999 when we opened our doors to provide everything from restaurant supplies to commercial food processors. The best restaurant equipment company in Vallecitos is RestaurantSupply.com. With easy online ordering, industry expert customer service representatives, and hassle-free shipping. One of the top-rated restaurants equipment supply store in Vallecitos. Why is this? Because we have all the restaurant supplies you require and great customer service and affordable pricing. So, if you're considering opening a restaurant, there are many things to think about, from the restaurant kitchen to the interior design. There is much that needs consideration. One important aspect of any restaurant in the kitchen is the kitchen equipment that you need to use. The type of equipment you choose can have a major impact on the quality of food. For instance, some people may not care if the garlic is finely chopped. However, restaurant reviews could be influenced by this detail. So, it also goes on to list the top 5 essential kitchen items for every type of cuisine. All right, so here we go. Restaurant food processor. This is an excellent possibility for countless restaurant duties, including making sauces, purees, and so much more. Dynamic commercial immersion blender. Say a kitchen appliance that blends food in an upright container by immersing it while spinning at high speed. Commercial poultry. To make top quality dishes, it's key to have the top tools for the job, including knives in your arsenal as a definite one of them. You can find a variety of sizes and types on hand so you can handle any kind of task. Commercial saucepans. Whether you like cooking with gas or electric stove, having a good selection of saucepans is as important to have on hand when you're cooking in the kitchen. It's just as important to have as the right knives and tools to meet your culinary needs. So, cutting boards. Tough and easy to clean, making them perfect for any cook. They come in many shapes and sizes depending on what you plan and on using it for chopping meat, veggies, or cutting up some fruits. And lastly, commercial pots and pans. 2 of the utmost important things you require in your restaurant kitchen are pots and pans. The best set of pots and pans will assist you in cooking just about anything. Pans are usually flat bottom for working on the stove top. Pots have rounded bottoms, which makes it quicker to cook in liquid form. All right, so for commercial restaurant supplies and kitchen equipment to food service, cooking equipment, and food storage containers, these dealers have each thing you demand to start or develop in the food service business at top rates. And it goes on to talk about the average family size in Vallecitos is coherent with the national statistics and with the average age of marriage averaging single to that of got a little frog in my throat there, of that of the neighboring areas. And supplies are an essential part of any food service store's advancement. They are pertinent for every division of the food service business, from the kitchen to the dining room. A choice restaurant supply store will offer every component crucial for a strong restaurant business, tailored to the needs of the food industry. Every day, a restaurant needs several restaurant equipments ranging from food packaging, supplies, and beverage storage supplies to bathroom cleaning products and restaurant equipment. And yes, that's key too to the dining experience, and also to, at home, and to the feel of the atmosphere of cooking. It's a very nice touch to eat in and to cook in an area that's well detailed and well clean, and just for the lack of extent to the aspect of manicured and pedicured. That's to why I'm mentioning that, because this is the reason why. So when you get a manicure and a pedicure, it's all about paying attention to the details and how you polish things and clean things and how you pamper yourself within how that makes you feel. And then that's very important in the customer relationship and continued customer support with a restaurant, and how they pay attention to the details of the atmosphere of how everything looks. And it also goes on to say with the aspect of cooking in your own home, of how that feels when everything is clean, and when you take the time to, it doesn't make it seem so laborious or tiring when you think about the aspect, oh gosh, I have all these dishes to clean. After I cook this, I don't want to deal with this. And this is just a frustrating thing to cook. But when you take the time and you have people to help if it's, too many dishes to clean, but the aspect of cleaning up as you go and spots, and then eventually it's all clean and you can just go on, and it's an enjoyed experience. And it's just really something to think about too, as another aspect of the layers that goes into cooking and dining. All right, so this reaches the end of the Harboring Light. Tune in, turn up, and absolutely take care out there. Bye-bye now.